Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us. Topping our news tonight, the telecom takeover that's frustrating homeowners and hurting businesses on the Suncoast. Dozens of complaints continue to arise after Frontier Communications took over internet and cable from Verizon customers.
The state has received hundreds of complaints since Frontier Communications took over Verizon accounts. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo joins us now with some lingering problems. Dwayne?
Well, Haley, some of these local businesses and owners are past the boiling point with Frontier's customer service. Some spending almost an hour about complaints, and in the process, losing some of their own customers as well.
Menus are set and ready to go at one of Sarasota's newest restaurants, Brasa and Pisco, but business has been slow.
Our internet and our phone just completely went down, so we couldn't ring up credit cards, we couldn't call anybody. We just basically were off the grid.
And by off the grid, manager and owner Luis Valenzuela has to use an alternative just for to-go orders.
We have to use emails to try to communicate with people on Facebook.
Overall, he says Frontier's lack of communication is hurting his business financially.
The week prior to what the situation happened, we were doing basically double of our sales, and it has dropped to half.
He has even gone as far as trying to switch providers.
And they told me that it was going to take 2 weeks to get here. And then finally we got the provider to say that they were going to come this week, and they never showed up in the end.
Cutting Loose hair salon manager Nicole Branch is having much of the same problems.
And they just haven't been very responsive, and they tell us they're looking into it from their side, or they'll send a technician if they need to, and we never hear back anything.
Even now, saying they're losing customers.
We still have intermittent issues here and there with things going down or reacting extremely slow.
There have been so many complaints made about Frontier Communications that the state is now getting involved. Attorney General Pam Bondi is still coordinating efforts with Frontier to rectify these problems. Problems, Valenzuela says, should have been fixed a long time ago.
Yes, we need to get this done now. I mean, this is a very disappointment. I think a lot of local businesses are getting hurt. It's something that is almost radical to happen to us.
Now, Florida's Department of Agriculture says that they've received hundreds of complaints from consumers about Frontier. They're also working with the company to get refunds for customers as well as help for service issues. Back to you.
All right, Dwayne, thank you. A follow-up now on the fraud case involving the Director of Social Services for the Salvation Army in Sarasota. David Sutton's attorney says he has entered a not guilty plea. Sutton and Michael Garrett were co-owners of Keys to Recovery. The company offered a drug recovery course through the website Sober 101. Sutton and Garrett are accused of selling about $330,000 in unlicensed stocks to investors. Two also allegedly misrepresented the company to solicit investors and misuse the money collected. They are scheduled to be in court on June 10th.
A professor wants to try to keep students from being expelled and suspended in Sarasota County. A USF Sarasota Manatee assistant professor is applying for a $4 million grant from the National Institute of Justice to create the Juvenile Court Intervention Team. Under the program, students who are accused of certain offenses like fighting, theft, and trespassing would sign a behavioral contract instead of getting a pink slip. Professor Jessica Grossholz hopes that the program will keep more kids out of trouble.
The goal is to keep them on campus because keeping them on campus reduces the negative outcomes that may result, such as criminal justice involvement, reduced school achievement, school dropout, things of that nature.
The new program is expected to begin in January at Sarasota High School. If it is successful, it could be implemented at other high schools.
A downtown Sarasota business will be closing its doors soon. Direct Energy, a home energy services provider, will close its Sarasota office sometime next spring and start laying off its workers in July. Around 160 jobs will be eliminated. The closing is part of the company's effort to consolidate into its Houston headquarters over the next 2 years. The Greater Sarasota Chamber of Commerce will begin searching for a new president and CEO next month. Steve Cuellar is resigning his position during his 13 years with the chamber. He helped oversee numerous projects. Some of the highlights include helping bring the Orioles spring training operation to the area, assisting in the development of Nathan Benderson Park, and rebuilding US 301 from Fruitville Road to University Parkway. Those projects were launched right around the time of the recession and helped bring life back to Sarasota.
Those things occurred in the Great Recession, and together they created over 2,000 jobs, brought about $90 million of investment to the area when it was needed most.
The Chamber's Board of Directors will form a search committee in June to find a new replacement.
The start of hurricane season is now just days away, and a lot of people living in Venice are now a little more prepared for the storm season. The city held its annual hurricane preparedness seminar today. Booths were set up at City Hall with important information that residents need to know to get ready for a storm. The Red Cross, Florida Power and Light, the Suncoast Humane Society, and some other groups attended. The seminars touched on everything from shelters and evacuation routes to what people need to do to make sure they have the necessary supplies. Although Venice hasn't had a hurricane threat in more than a decade, all Floridians need to be ready.
You know, everybody knows to make sure you have food supplies, make sure you have batteries, but so it's the little things. Make sure you have your medications, make sure your pets are taken care of, make sure you have a tank full of gas. Those are little things that they pick up at conferences like this that they might forget about in case of a pre-storm preparedness.
This will jog their memory about all the things that we need to do, where to go, the evacuation routes, and what products and things we need in our home to prepare ourselves.
Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan was one of today's presenters, along with the Venice Police Chief, Fire Chief, Red Cross Disaster Program Manager, and many other officials. Hurricane season runs from June through November, so 1st of June is the official start.
That conference seems to be always really well attended, and it looked like it was no different today, Bob.
That was the best, by the way, and this was the best attendance we have seen. And I kind of did a show of hands how many people are new to this area. And I must tell you, there was about a third to a half of them saying, yes, well, we are new and this is going to be our first season. So this is, I think, true with a lot of people now in Florida. Millions of people are now living here that didn't live here 10 years ago when we got hit by a major hurricane, well, at least the state did, Wilma, back in 2006. So it's important that you learn all the necessary information to protect yourself and your family and your pets during this upcoming hurricane season. We offer a special that'll happen June 1st, the start of hurricane season, and that happens at 7 o'clock on ABC 7. So you want to DVR that. It will also be available on our website after the showing on 7 o'clock on Wednesday night, June 1st. Here is a tropical system that may develop. Indications are it may be just a subtropical low, but it could transition into a tropical cyclone within the next 5 days. The National Hurricane Center now giving this a 50% chance of developing over the next 5 days. It appears that it will have little influence on our weather here over the West Coast. We'll have more of that a little bit later. 91 now. It was just 90 an hour ago, and now it's actually heating up. We have a west wind at 9 and the humidity extremely low at 45%. More in your forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Visitors and businesses near the Main Street Plaza in Sarasota are trying to get used to some major changes to the parking garage policy. The new owners have closed the Main Street entrance to the plaza for free parking. From now on, only valet parking will be available by the Hollywood 20 movie theater. Free parking is still available on the north side of the garage. The change is an effort to remove the ambiguity surrounding paid parking and create a safer pedestrian experience along Main Street. But some businesses think the change makes an already difficult parking situation even worse.
I mean, before it was just, you could validate your parking or pay for it, if you didn't go to the movie theater. But now you have to have valet to even get through that entrance, which is insane.
It's a little frustrating when you're trying to come and have lunch because obviously there's not enough parking on the street. So you have to park somewhere.
The change is an experiment to see if the garage will require any future alterations, but owners say this is more than likely how parking will be done from now on.
Venice residents will get a chance to weigh in on the safety changes proposed for a busy roundabout. The Sarasota County Commission will host a presentation from FDOT on the modifications plan for the roundabout at Jacaranda Boulevard and Venice Avenue. The biggest change would convert the right-hand lane for drivers traveling along East Venice Avenue from the Myakka River to a right turn only. Other improvements include bigger yield signs and realigning the entrances. Residents can hear more about the plan at a meeting at the R.L. Anderson Administration Complex on June 7th.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, a sobering lesson at Venice High School. Students see firsthand how drinking and driving can cost lives.
And later in Health Smart, how the additives in your food are affecting your gut and your risk for some serious conditions.
All
new mysuncoast.com. Just another way we're here for you.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Hey, I'm really glad that you're taking a few moments to check out this video about the ministry of First Sarasota, Downtown Baptist Church. I'm William Hill, lead pastor here at First Sarasota. For the last 15 years, it's been my privilege to share in the life of this faith community, a community that centers itself around faith, friends, and family. Indeed, it is a ministry that's been in existence right here in this wonderful city for over a century.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford because Sarasota Ford guarantees you our lowest price on every new Ford every day. Save on America's best-selling truck, 39 years running, the Ford F-150, Fusions, Escapes, over 800 vehicles on-site or online, all on sale. Buy with 0% for 60 months. And now, get up to $2,000 trade assistance. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Did you know many dogs are returned to shelters simply because they lack obedience? Contact Canine Corral about various training programs. We train dogs and their owners. Canine Corral, where the love is.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
There was a scene of blood and chaos on the Venice High School football field today.
Thankfully, it was just an exercise designed to show students what could happen if they drink and drive. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley joins us now live tonight from Venice with more on the message behind this drill. Christopher.
Well, good evening, Scott and Haley. This drill today was largely a surprise for juniors and seniors, many of whom will be going to prom later this week. The main point the school and first responders wanted to make: don't drink and drive. Students were called to the football field this morning to a fake party. A short time later, those kids who were pretending to drink got behind the wheel and off they went. The result, a fake car accident wheeled in by the fire department.
To me, it means watch what you're doing. Your actions will really affect what you do, always.
Vehicle crash with extrications. Venice High School.
First responders treated the students who were covered in fake injuries. Out came the jaws of life to pry out the dummy stuck in the car.
To see the physical evidence is just amazing. It truly impacts the student body.
Copy that. Wherever you're comfortable landing, we're good.
To really drive the point home, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office Air 1 landed on the field. They were simulating bay flight, taking a severely injured person to the hospital. The fake drunk driver, Junior Hannah Richard, was put in cuffs and taken away by police.
This just completely opened my eyes, especially me being arrested with it and everything. It was so eye-opening because that's something that obviously I never want to get involved in.
As students watch this, many might make a connection that Venice High's principal, Jack Turgeon, was recently charged for alleged drunk driving after slamming his vehicle into a pole. The interim principal said Wednesday's drill was not in response to that.
This program began prior to anything happening, and it's been in the works because it's the best thing for kids.
At the end of today's drill, a black hearse drove past the students with a coffin inside to show today's fake death from the accident. A stark reminder to students as they head into prom weekend. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Christopher. A very good reminder. Hopefully it did
Sounds like it hit home.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. And also texting. Texting and driving, not a
so
good thing. I
true.
saw so many people today on I-75 texting. You can kind of tell, too.
scary.
They're drifting a little bit,
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
you got to keep an eye on those guys. We're keeping an eye on a system east of us. You know, it's not even there yet, but models are suggesting it will be soon. It's not going to have a big impact on our weather, it looks like, at this point, but it's just interesting to note that, yes, we are entering into hurricane season next week. So 7 days from now, we will be in it. And we already had one storm. Alex, Bonnie is the next one up. Lakewood Ranch webcam, a little bit more moisture, at least into the mid-levels of the atmosphere today, but at the surface, still quite comfortable. And as far as the radar picture goes, no rain really to speak of here. Now, there's a chance we may see an isolated shower pop up right near the coast because there's not much of a sea breeze. And the sea breeze that is developing is kind of pinned right there near the coastline. Well, this trough of low pressure that is diving now across the eastern Gulf of Mexico is slowly going to move out of here as high pressure starts to build in from the west. And you can see that dry air still in place over much of the peninsula of Florida today, with some higher clouds set to move in here later on tonight. But all in all, it looks like we'll see a northerly wind flow, at least at the mid-levels of the atmosphere, which will keep us quite comfortable overnight. 91 right now, temperature very warm, dew point 67. That number has just popped up because our winds have switched to the west at 9 miles an hour. And that's what I'm talking about. That sea breeze just now started to get going. And with that, in fact, in play, we may see an isolated shower pop up. The atmosphere is just so dry. Don't expect a lot of widespread rainfall this evening. 1 or 2 lone showers could actually pop up. 85. Jacksonville now 84 in Orlando, 82 degrees in Key West, and 84 in Miami. And you can see where the temperatures in the low 80s right out on the water right now. 85 degrees in Inglewood, 88 in Northport, the same in Arcadia and Wauchula, and Venice Gardens checking in at 86 degrees. Bradenton at 85, and Lakewood Ranch, you're at 84 degrees. Well, with this trough diving here, it's generated an area of low pressure allegedly here east of the Bahamas. So we'll keep an eye on this area right there. And then it's going to drift off toward the west-northwest in time and could possibly develop into a subtropical low, meaning a cold core center. It won't have a totally warm center, and that means it will be non-tropical in nature at its inception if it does develop. However, it could transition into a tropical system as it moves over some warmer water of the Gulf Stream there. As far as the shear forecast goes, there's still quite a bit of it forecast over the Bahamas and over the just east of Florida, but this is just through Friday. By Saturday and Sunday, it could relax somewhat. So there's a chance at 50% that something may pop up. This particular model is showing that rotation and circulation as we move through time on Friday. There it is, and notice it starts to shift off to the west-northwest and then head toward either Jacksonville or up toward the Carolinas over the weekend. It is also indicating we may see some wraparound moisture from it throughout the late afternoon on Friday, but I don't trust that model too much in that regard. As far as temperatures go, into the mid to upper 80s, all the way up into Boston today, 88 degrees, so it's warm over the Northeast, the nation's capital at 86. 71 now in Denver, 10 degrees cooler in Kansas City, Dallas at 84, and Atlanta at 86. Mostly fair tonight. There's a slight chance for an isolated shower, 68. The expected low, which is right around average for this time of year. It should be another nice start tomorrow with an east wind. And the extended forecast for Memorial Day looks good at 30% chance for rain. Those rain chances on the weekend at 20% right now. We'll have to watch how this storm evolves over time, but for the time being, looking pretty good for the 3-day weekend for most. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. Checking Suncoast Traffic Watch in Osprey, we have a fire at the Oscar Scheer State Park. That's right near US 41. We believe it is a controlled burn, but we'll look into the details of that. But at this time, it doesn't appear to be affecting any traffic. Sometimes the smoke can slow down traffic, but all green on the map at this hour. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, researchers have identified a potential primary source for knee, hip, and back pain that can lead to injury and surgery. And it has a weird name, dormant butt syndrome, or DBS. Scientists at the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center coined that term, so it's not me. They made it up, which is marked by tight hip flexors and weak glute muscles. That can lead to injuries that often require knee surgery. Exercising improperly or not exercising enough, even sleeping in the fetal position, can cause those glute muscles to weaken. Standing up and stretching can decrease the risk of DBS, as can doing exercises that strengthen the glute muscles. Certain food additives may interfere with your gut bacteria and potentially promote the development of some chronic diseases. In this study, researchers looked at ingredients called emulsifiers, which are added to many processed foods, including ice cream and peanut butter, to improve those foods' texture and extend their shelf life. Scientists use lab equipment that simulates the human gut and studied the effects in mice. The emulsifiers led to a dramatic increase in a marker of gut inflammation. Metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that includes obesity, high blood sugar, and insulin resistance. Food waste is a big problem, especially for produce. According to the UN, 40 to 50% of the world's fruit and vegetable output is wasted, mostly because it's spoiled. Researchers at Tufts University developed a technology that may cut those losses. It's an invisible silk-based coating that seems to protect fruits and vegetables from going bad, even without refrigeration. Scientists found that strawberries dipped several times in a water-based solution containing just 1% of a biodegradable silk protein called fibroin lasted for a week at room temperature with little deterioration. How great would that be? Coming up next, incredible tornado video, the damage multiple twisters caused across Kansas. And first, you learn how to stand and then, well, you go straight to skiing. A Florida toddler is breaking water skiing records. Those stories are coming up next.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
You know what scares me? No electricity. Yeah, when this magical box suddenly stops working, I call the pros at Mr. Sparky and they send a superhero to save the day. How's it going, Pablo?
It's going great, Mike.
Pablo possesses amazing skill. He can perform incredible feats at blinding speed.
Superhero. Couldn't have done it without you.
Modest, too.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Just to be clear, I don't live here.
Discover the biggest savings of the year on some of America's favorite vehicles during the Drive and Discover event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Drive away in America's hottest SUV, a new Jeep Cherokee for just $19,999. Get a new 2016 Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Or shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers and get the lowest prices around. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
When you don't know who you are, you can be anyone you want to be. You're coming with me.
Ooh, where are we going?
To the most wondrous place in the world.
Roll up, Tangleviews Traveling Circus is here!
This isn't a fairy story. People don't always live happily ever after. But we will. I'm Hetty Feather, and this is my story.
I see great fortune in your future, David.
It's Brian.
I see houses, boats, cars, millions of dollars. And you will marry a beautiful, exotic fortune teller.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
With a $10 million fortune scratch-off game from the Florida Lottery, the odds of a brighter future are better than ever. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
It's a scene right out of the movie Twister playing out on the plains of Kansas. Multiple funnels touching down last night in a 2-hour span. This particular twister crossed over a highway and tore over the countryside. One of the tornadoes was a half-mile wide. Look at that. At least 2 people were critically hurt. Less damaging tornadoes were reported in 2 other Kansas counties. The National Weather Service is putting together a survey now to determine the exact number of twisters that touched down, their strength, and how long they were on the ground.
A water main break flooded streets and sent water shooting over utility poles in Massachusetts. Water shot several feet into the air out of an underground pipe in the city of Brockton, which is just south of Boston. Officials say construction equipment in the area may have crushed the pipe. Roads in the area were shut down, of course, and the water main break closed off the water supply to about 30 residents. There's a bright glow around the Kilauea volcano in the Big Island of Hawaii. Experts say more lava is leaking from the volcano. It's been active since 1983, but new lava flow breakouts have been recently discovered. Officials say the lava flow does not pose an immediate threat to nearby communities, unlike in 2014, when lava flow from this same volcano forced a village to evacuate and destroyed at least 1 home.
Cute first moments between a baby African elephant and her mother are captured on a camera at the Dallas Zoo. This little guy is about 3 feet tall, has a trunk over a foot long. The baby's weight was on the low end of the 150 to 300 pound range for newborn elephants. Zoo officials say it could be blamed on his mother, Milo's homeland, where a severe drought made food very scarce. Milo is from Africa, but we're told mom and baby are now doing just fine. And this little girl could have a career with the skier-ease. 6-month-old Zyla is the world's youngest water skier. This week, little Zyla took to the waters on Lake Silver in Winter Haven to break a decades-old record of water skiing at the age of 6 months and 29 days. On her second attempt, she skied 686 feet. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
By the way, she beat the previous record by 2 days. The previous record holder was 6 months, 29 days, and she was 6 months, 27 days when she set this record.
She probably can't even walk yet. She can.
I mean, 6 months, kids are typically not walking
Still
yet.
crawling
Yeah.
at that point, or just starting to crawl. So
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing. That reminds me of my cousin's daughter because she was snow skiing at like 2, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty
Probably a
amazing.
pro at it, huh?
Oh yeah, she's fantastic. She's going to be an athlete for
Yeah.
sure. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a Bradenton Brewing Company launches a petition.
Why Motorworks is fighting the city over a proposed noise ordinance. That story up next.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
We are delighted to have Dr. Kaminsky join our team at the Totoli Cancer Center.
I'm a radiation oncologist. I was at the National Institutes of Health, most recently at the Medical College of Georgia, specialized in central nervous system cancers, prostate cancers, and other types. At the Totoli Cancer Center, we have a level of technology that is second to none.
He has a great wealth of knowledge and shares the same passion that we have for patient care.
My family and I are happy to be here in Sarasota, and I'm excited to treat our patients here at the Totoli Cancer Center.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home. With everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors, the Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.